You're listening to Hayes Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Superbad Inc. presents Coffee Pot. Another episode. Let's get it.
What up, my brother? How you doing today?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Los?
I'm good, man. Good Sunday. Just chilling. Everybody's coming through the studio, which is great. We about to have a great show. We got some great guests.
We moved shit on to Sunday because it was like a more chill
Yeah, it's more
day.
chill.
We could put a couple more things in, a little bit laid off.
Yeah.
Now that the COVID went back into lockdown effect,
Exactly.
hopefully this traffic's going to lessen down a little bit.
Exactly. So the general, take it from here. Let's go.
Hey, man, it's the kid, the boy, the man himself, Young Reek, a.k.a. Mr. Suave, a.k.a. Young Daddy, a.k.a. Young Zaddy the God, Zora's daddy. But I'm also a pious deity himself. No, I'm very, very happy to be here, fellas. Good to see y'all. It's been a great week as well. Let's talk about some things that are going on. California shut back down, like Andrew said.
Yep.
What else we got going on? Asheville, North Carolina, reparations.
Yes, that's huge.
Yes.
That's very
Huge.
Shout out to reparations.
Yeah, shout out to reparations. We can talk about that in a bit, too. And
Can we talk about the scandalisms, though?
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, you know that.
There's no holds barred. You know that.
What about the normal thing? Do you want to bring it up?
We can bring up normal, too.
Yeah.
And, speaking of reparations, Mass Can Normal is run by a bunch of neo-Nazis. I uncovered some shit, and hopefully they're getting the thing together. Yeah, the whole state of Massachusetts, Normal, the organization, being run by some neo-Nazi white supremacists, straight up.
Now, explain the situation that went down that shed light to it, though, to you.
All right, so, yeah, I can put this on, too. Yeah. So, I was supposed to be on this guy, Michael Doobie's. He works for the Patriots. He works with a bunch of black entrepreneurs out in Boston. I was supposed to be on his podcast. I sent in my bio, my headshot to him, to his booking agent. He calls me back like literally 10 minutes before Canada Gather is about to start. And he's on Facebook Messenger like, hey, man, I didn't know you were part of Normal. I was like, yeah, I'm the event director for LA Normal. And he was like, yeah, we've been fighting with them for like 3 weeks, this old white supremacy ring that's up here. I'm like, oh yeah, we go to war with anybody, man. That's why I fuck with Normal. Like Bruce Margolin's my guy. He's like, no, we're fighting against them. They're being run by a bunch of fucking white supremacists out here. I was like, what? And y'all know, like when I get into like an event, whatever, I gotta stay focused and everything. I didn't really think about it. I rung that up the flagpole, and they didn't tell nobody. They didn't tell nobody until they were supposed to have a anti-Black Lives Matter rally on Pride Day, and an anti-Pride, a straight Pride rally, and they didn't tell nobody. Ended up Saturday, shit went down. They're in crisis mode, and I start hearing a lot of heat from everybody we had for the Ebony shit.
Correct.
Like they're like, yo, like you were giving a portion of the sales to these white supremacists, like all this other shit. It's like, wait until I get the official word back from, the executive director and all of them. Like, nothing. 5 days go by. This is Thursday when that shit went down. The rally was on Saturday. I told these motherfuckers on Thursday. Saturday, they're in crisis mode. Sunday night, I'm just feeling the heat from everybody. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I hit up everybody. They sent receipts with everything, all different kinds of stuff. Like, this shit's been going on for a minute, and they knew about this shit, and so they hit me back finally, like Monday morning after I sent them a scathing fucking email. Like, yo, like, this is what's going on. I'm trying to do shit for my community so we can elevate, we can uplift each other, we can all get to this money. And you guys are a fucking distraction. And that's the thing about me, like being an activist. The key 3 letters in activist is ACT. I gave you a fucking test. And you guys want to say, like, we're allies, we're this, we're that. Like, no, fuck that, man. You're not a fucking ally if you ain't ready to act. When I tell you these fucking white supremacists are running your shit from a credible source, and nobody fucking said shit. It went until the next Wednesday before they said anything as an organization.
And wasn't there some kind of event that they caused some kind of issue over? You told me about. What was it?
Oh, yeah. So the craziest part about it the craziest part about this shit is I sent it all the way up the flagpole. Nobody said shit, but they came back with an answer on their fucking email that had nothing to do with what I asked them. I asked them, number one, what is our response as an organization? Number two, if you guys knew this guy was a white supremacist, why was he let back into the organization? Because he resigned before, and they rehired him as the executive director. And they didn't ask any of those questions. What he did say in his response was like, we never got money from the Boston Freedom Rally. I was like, what the fuck is that? I'm back on the dude from Boston. I'm back on him, and shout out to Eric, my man Eric out there too. Eric Martin from he played for the Patriots as well. Won a couple of rings with them. Played with my boy Queese, and they said apparently these motherfuckers are extorting patriots. Extorting a bunch of motherfuckers at this Boston Freedom Rally, all this other shit, and and that's when I pulled out. Man. I'm like, yo,
you went down.
This is too. It's like too hot.
Well, that's what Young Greek does. He gets to the bottom of everything.
Right, you gotta stay on top. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay on top. No, but like, that's when I had to pull out. I'm like, yo, this is going way too deep. I don't want to wear this money because you start following the money, you see some things you don't like.
Yeah, that's true.
So I pulled out. I gave it to the legal and everything, but it really pissed me off because it distracted me from what we were building.
Correct.
From Ebony Juneteenth. On Ebony Juneteenth, we built something incredible. We had 53 speakers, 6 different countries. That was just the beginning, laying the foundation.
It was incredible. Never seen nothing like that in my life.
Yeah, and now I'm dealing with all this legal shit, with all this stuff, and it just like broke my heart, man. Like that's why I don't. Number one, like me and Ronnie back there, he's coming on the next episode. We were talking about that. Like that's why I don't like working for people. Number one. And that's why I don't like tying myself to organizations. Number two, unless I have a say, like at the head of it, because like y'all know what happened. Like Brian knows what happened.
I'm seeing it.
You know, like organizations, especially in this game, like it's hard to know any of them who.
Like, who do you trust?
That's the thing. When do you trust them too?
That too.
Right. Sometimes it's crazy.
Who
right.
wins?
It's like sometimes they're good people. Most of the time.
Well, anybody got problems, come over here to superbadinc.
Right? No, it's like I don't have time for that drama right now. I don't have time for the drama. I don't have time for the bullshit. Like, let's get this money. We need to talk. We need to be talking about like how we have like incredible crossover opportunities right now, because that's the whole point of Ebony. I brought business leaders in. I brought musical stars in. I brought a bunch of people from mainstream America, intermingling with some of the biggest stars in the cannabis industry too, so we can get our heads together and build. That's right. We have incredible artists like my man Salvador Santana in the game. Grateful. Now we have incredible artists going the other way too with my man Chris Delolio over there. We need to be on the same page. And if these white people are doing great things right now, they're finally listening to what's been going on. Like, yo, fuck what happened in 2019. Fuck what happened the first half of 2020. We need to be focused on getting this money right now, collaborating, and uplifting each other. Like, yo, I'm really not good at that, but I'm good at this. How about you do that? Let me run in my lane. We get this money together right now. At the end of the year, UN, World Health Organization, decriminalization. Yeah. That's what you should be worried about. And we should be worried about the genetics of my man Andrew over here, like pushing out the dopest shit since 1939.
I look like a good motherfucker if I was that old.
I need to get on that dude's health plan.
Right. Like we need to be collaborating. Everybody should be on that positive energy shit. Like, yo, some fucked up shit happened up in Minneapolis. Some fucked up shit is still happening. That's right. You know, and St. Louis too. Like, shit's happening, but we need to acknowledge that and build from it. Yeah. Make sure the bad actors are kicked the fuck out, and let's get this money together.
Yeah.
Like,
unity.
Yes.
I was just gonna say that.
So
let's get more in depth with our guests here today.
Yes, sir.
Let's give the time that's needed. We
have two very, very, very talented individuals here. My man, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? Salvador Santana here. Just grateful to be here each and every day. Just like Rico said, I'm actually just really known as Stevie's dad. That's my son.
Stevie.
That's it, man. That's all I'm grateful to be here. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Yes.
Always been in music, kind of just been in the genes essentially?
Oh yeah,
or-
yeah. So yeah, musician, entrepreneur, just
Levi's, good jeans.
Was the track you sent me one of his, Rico? The email that you sent me?
Yeah.
Let's put it on for a second.
yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Which one we putting on? Oh, okay. We got two going on back together. I like that.
Did it
That's a
play
mix.
too? Oh,
It's
wait,
like a
wait.
remix.
That's that mix right there.
I was gonna say.
Remix Kings, huh?
I was like,
What?
dang.
I was throwing you out right
I
there.
was
Hold
gonna
on.
say that's.
It's the mashup.
I'll tell you what it is after. Check it out.
Oh.
Nice beat.
That shit goes hard. Super hard.
My man.
Man, up in
Nice.
Valencia. It was pretty.
Okay.
It was pretty dope from what I remember of it. It was pretty
Sure.
dope.
Yeah, of course, right? What was like the main highlight when you were there though that you were on? Like musical, more artistic? Like what was the,
That's a good question. Honestly, just like what you guys were talking about, that camaraderie, that unity. It was actually really dope to be in a. It wasn't a school, man. It was actually an institute. That's why I call it California Institute of the Arts. And at the time, we were all really like, not just majoring, like we were studying our art to like become better artists, and also like what you guys were just talking about a second ago, or Rico was just talking about, community.
and the teachers and stuff promoted that like a lot and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it like everything, man. There's always politics and there's always stuff in there. But,
Yeah, for sure.
But for myself, I always made sure that I gravitated towards the people that, and the artists especially, that they were here for the arts, man. They were all there. Of course, things come down to politics and
Sure.
money and things of all that stuff.
What was like a favorite project or something you did that was like, oh man, that was probably one of the coolest things I did when I was in school?
That's probably something I don't remember.
Okay, I got you. Going
so-
way
so
back
apparently-
machine right there.
Apparently, you smoked a lot in school.
Oh man,
Or after.
Man, I tried a little bit of everything.
Yeah, for
at
sure.
college. I tried a little bit of everything.
Sure.
The only thing I did stay away from, though, I'll keep it real. The only thing I did stay away from was H, man. I saw it once.
Yeah.
In the dorm room. I did
Sure.
not ever.
Right.
Is that shit like attainable? Like, is that shit like readily available?
You know what, man? It is,
Exactly.
and not only
That's
that.
essentially what oxys are, and people are always getting hooked on all that shit. It's very
Right.
similar.
It's the
you know.
location, because if it's up in Valencia, it's further from Los Angeles, so it's
Okay.
like suburbia.
Right.
And if you all have seen that movie Traffic, there's that one quote where I think it's Topher Grace,
Yeah.
the guy who plays Eric from 70s Show. He's talking about how like, it's so much easier for kids, and I can only imagine nowadays. It's so much easier for kids to actually get drugs and shit like that before. Like it's easier. Kids don't want to get like. At least when I was growing up, kids didn't really want to go and get drunk. Y'all wanted to go, we wanted to go and get.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I said, the school, everything was dope, man. Like I went to the San Francisco School of the Arts for high school, which led me eventually to Cal Arts. And I just kept studying music, man. Music honestly kept me out. Take the mask off just for a sec, so y'all can hear me. Music.
Guitar.
Nah, man, keyboards.
Oh, sweet.
Piano.
Ah,
I-
nice.
Ill on those keys, man.
Yeah, that's great.
Herbie Hancock is probably my
Oh,
he's
wow.
the go for me, man. He's
Subtle
Yeah.
flex. Subtle flex.
Wow.
He's the go. In fact,
Subtle flex right there.
In fact, one of my tattoos right here. This is a solo that Herbie actually wrote.
Sure.
Just for me. Like
Hit me with the
it's
wide
actual-
receiver.
But let,
Yes. Yes.
Herbie
but it,
Hancock.
Yes.
you know what?
I'm just
It's better to have gravitated to something different to your dad because he's so iconic. It's like hard to live up to that. You know what I mean? In a sense, like, or you would
Well,
you
to be
feel
honest,
like
nah. To be honest, it's more like everyone's got their own shoes, everyone's got their own path.
Right.
Sure, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I'm very fortunate and blessed that Pops, my mom, my whole family, they raised me. I come from a very diverse family, man. Like just because I'm light skinned, it's funny, man. Afro Chicano, a little bit of Irish.
Okay,
you know?
Right.
that's cool.
I got family that's Japanese, and I got some other family members
Nice.
that are part Indio, like Native American. So we're a little bit of everything, man. And that's what's beautiful about the Bay. That's what's beautiful about California. That's what's beautiful about just being blessed and grateful
Right.
as a musician to be able to travel the world, see what the world has to offer, how it's multicultural, it fits totally with the music and the vibe that I'm trying to express
Now,
and been trying to express.
Love it.
doing
Love it.
doing the keyboards,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, and being able to work on an instrument like that. The one advantage is when you start getting into, and especially going to art school, they teach you all the software. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
right.
you can create and make and change and fucking do with technology.
Absolutely.
Shit that's just absolutely crazy. right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's literally anything you want at your fingertips. It's incredible now. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to I'm still practicing scales, and these
Right.
kids are like dropping the beats and like slaying it just by hitting one
What
button.
do you think
know?
of all those things? It's pretty great, right? And,
honestly,
like,
I
we have
think-
a machine, you know, the native instruments
Oh, yeah, the
one that
machine.
you
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And it's tight how you could just do all this crazy shit.
It's
right?
dope how you can manipulate everything. For me, honestly, I think if you can infuse that with what's current, plus somebody who actually has that musicality, that musicianship, you know,
Sure.
somebody that's not just hiding behind all the smoke and mirrors and hiding behind the auto tunes and the sound design. Yeah, that stuff is cool, but for me, and same thing in the cannabis industry, how you separate yourself from everybody else, authenticity, be yourself. That's honestly, I know it sounds cliche, but it's true, man. Just be you, and that's all I've been trying to do, especially carrying the last name that I carry, man. That's all I know how to do is just be me.
Yeah,
and
no,
be
that's
the best of my
great.
family.
That's dope.
That's
That's,
cool.
Sick,
definitely
bro.
dope. Yeah.
And you carry on it so well too, man. Like
Mamba
yeah.
mentality. That's why I'm wearing that young Kobe
Yeah.
jersey, man. Much
So,
love,
yeah,
respect.
The greatest who ever played,
Right.
in my opinion.
Right. So it's crazy. The other day when you called me, right? You called me out of the blue the other day, and I had just been listening to his album that morning.
It's crazy.
Like that morning, I was listening to his album.
Why
like,
do we need
Remix
phones, man?
Games.
We just telepathically.
Right.
talk.
Like,
So
like,
when you're-
like no
when you're-
joke, he called me up and just
When you're
sick.
composing on the keyboard, right?
Yeah.
Do lyrics go through your head also? Or do you kind of just like go with more with how the sound and the flow is? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You know, each song is different. Each creative process is different.
Okay.
You know, that's what even though I've been doing it for quite some time, I'm just beginning to learn the sacred ritual that is in a creative process. You know,
Sure.
sometimes the ideas just come and you got to have your bucket ready. If you're not ready, like for me, the best times for me is when I'm stuck in traffic or when I'm in the shower. Like the
Sure.
worst
Right.
opportunities for me to write down a song or record a song. I'm just so thank God these phones and be able to sing
Oh yeah.
you know, gnarly melody in there or some lyrics or even just a little piano or whatever I'm thinking.
What apps do you use?
Logic is my main one, just to get the ideas out. I'm tinkering around with a whole bunch of Pro Tools, of course, is the way. It's the most, even though I have a love-hate relationship with it,
Yeah.
it's the most professional.
Logic is good, cool if you're a Mac user for sure.
Yeah, you know,
We
I mean,
use it here at the studio.
yeah, I know. For me, honestly, like I said, it's really just embracing the creative process and just allowing the music to come to you. And, you know, now being like Rico, a new dad, you know, my son just is about to turn 2.
Stevie.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what's up.
He's about to turn 2 pretty soon. So it's now that my time is cut, like, not even a half, like in thirds. You know, now I'm learning time management. So
Right.
just
Yeah,
get the idea
yeah.
out. Even if it's 15 minutes, man, know what you're going for, get it, and get out, man. Like I really wish I appreciated more of Kobe when he was here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
I'm listening to a lot more of his mentality, his philosophies. And I know it's not 100% original. He read The Art of War and he read a lot of stuff, but I'm learning to implement. I've heard that iron sharpens iron, so I'm trying to implement
Yes.
the best of what everybody else has offered to us, and I'm trying to listen more instead of talk. I'm trying to listen more.
So where? Tell us a little bit about that ring. Show everybody
Which
that
one?
ring.
Which one you guys want to see? I swear I'm not flicking y'all off. I swear I'm not flicking y'all off. So Rico's is, I feel like I'm on like QVC. So we have here I believe this is the 2018 championship ring, Curry's.
Okay.
Curry's ring. When I first met Rico, I was wearing that ring. 17, my bad. 17. When I first met Rico, I was wearing that one, and then he was like, we were talking about something. I was just like, you know what? He's the one that needs this ring.
He blessed me with it, man.
No, I didn't bless nothing. No, it was more like the Lord of the Rings came to me and was just like, you look good this ring, but he looked much better with it. So you hook brother up with that ring. And
that's what's up.
So he got that one, and no, that's yours. That's yours. And this is the Giants, SF Giants 2014 ring.
Okay.
My pops and I, we had the opportunity to play the national anthem for the Game 5 World Series, and the Giants were terrible that game until the very, very end. We came back and won. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was so crazy. And then we ended up winning the chip that year.
Now, is that an honorary? They gave you this ring?
Yeah,
also?
this one is.
That's tight.
This one is. That one is.
That's great.
This
That's
one
cool.
is. It's crazy, man.
Monsters ring.
You know,
man.
we talking since it's uncandid. We just talking. I'm a little disappointed because I heard that one of the owners, I don't know if it's the main one, but one of the owners or somebody at the top has some affiliation with Trump, with the Giants organization. So I definitely have mixed feelings for when I wear this ring. It's not because of that. It's because of the memory and the Bay Area and all that stuff. But I swear, man, when I found that out,
the man can't take away a legendary team. You know, it's regardless.
Why does hate? Why do things that represent hate got to ruin it for everybody else? You know what I'm saying?
And then in a few years, whatever, he's gone. It's like you won't even remember that being part of the baseball thing anyway. So,
man,
you know, it's
exactly.
cool. Shit'll roll on.
Exactly. That's why the memory lives on. Last but not least, this ring is Curry's ring from 2017.
That's a sick one.
Yeah, this is the one where they had the floss, man, because Cleveland, they whatever in 2016 they did whatever they did in 2016.
That is crazy. Can I see that for a second?
Handle it,
You heard that, LeBron? You got to come on, man.
Like,
Hey, LBJ, you heard that? You got to come on and talk some shit.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Okay, you got the block and Iguodala. Good for you.
I will say this. My man Kawhi does have 2 of these.
He do. But I don't. Is he gonna get a third one with his LA team?
I will say this. No, goes to the Lakers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm good
Goes
with
to
that.
the Lakers.
I'm good with that. As long as it stays in Cali, man, that's all good. But
So I'm not a sport. So for the non-sportsman of the group, is that a basketball?
Oh, yeah.
championship ring? I'm an idiot.
No.
That's the equivalent of your cannabis cups that you won when they actually meant something. Right? Right?
Yeah. That's cool.
I love it.
Now, what's the story behind getting that, or how did that, or you just bought it, or
no. So not the Giants one, but these 2 rings, I was able to get them at an auction, a charity event.
Oh, sweet.
I was able to play for, and I got those rings, and that money went to charity, basically.
Can we give a shout out to the charities?
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, it was I don't know if it's still his, but it was the Anquan Bolden Foundation.
Okay.
Quan, what up, Quan?
Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Quan has a great one.
He does, man.
He has a great one.
Out of
a lot
all-
of people, slip on that.
He's a great dude, man.
Yeah.
Out of all the
He's just a great
players
dude.
that I've seen, obviously Kaepernick gets all the for what he's been doing and everything, but Quan, he's been doing it for a minute, man,
Yes,
and
he has.
definitely under the radar.
Yes.
He's he's an incredible player on the field, but from what I hear, he's him and like Vernon Davis and those cats off the field. What they do for charity and everything is incredible.
That's huge.
So, but yeah, like you were saying, man, just to get back on the music and the cannabis topic, especially crossing over, I feel like now is even more important, because like Trip Out, like I haven't gigged, since January. I haven't done a live show,
Right.
since January, and you don't really fully. This is gonna sound hella cliche, but you don't really fully appreciate something until it's gone,
Right.
And realistically, because of COVID, I think that shit's done for a year or 2, right?
Oh yeah, I mean
before it's even fucking thought about being safe, right?
I had from February, the end of February, all the way till about right now, like covered, like ready, like booked, ready to go, and it was all canceled.
Because I was hurt because you asked me to come to Vegas to see your shit.
Yeah.
And Jasmine, hey baby, Jasmine was about like 6 months. She's like 6 months pregnant, whatever, and she was like, whatever. No, I'm just saying, like she was in one of those moods or whatever, and she was like, well, I don't really feel like going this weekend. I was like, it's Carlos fucking Santana and Salvador Santana are fucking playing in Vegas. We need to go, baby, please.
Man.
And I was like, okay. We're not gonna go.
You know what
I
though?
just let it go.
It'll always be there. It'll be back in some way, shape, or form. It's just like we were talking about before. We
elevate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We have a choice. We can either go, we can throw a tantrum and like complain about the change, or we can go with it and make our adjustments and do what we do, especially when we have unity and community, when we working together, building together. We have a common goal and a commonality together. So being a musician, not only being in the Bay Area and everything, just the lifestyle, just everything I grew up in and was fortunate enough to be around. Cannabis was like wine to like growing up in Italy, like family giving little, I don't know, little kids like just a little bit of sip of wine, just that's part of the culture. It's just part of it. I'm not saying that my family gave me weed when I was, but at the same time, going to the concerts, I'd be smelling that stuff. You'd be smelling it backstage
all the time.
It's no thing. So we got,
and that smell changed over the years.
I just thought
got better and better.
Well, absolutely. It just intrigued me more. It just enticed me more.
Now you got that B-Star smelling out there.
Oh man, I'm just trying to keep up with you guys. That's all that is.
Do you get to play with your dad a lot then, or was that it just was going to be a planned rare occasion, or do you just get to jump on and fucking flare around on the keyboards? Or what's up?
Well, I mean,
here and there.
Honestly, it's just as fun for me as it is for my pops. He always says it's a joy to have me on stage, sharing the stage with him, and of course the other band members. Like a lot of them, they've seen me grow up. Some of my dad's oldest band members there, or the band members that have been there the longest, are like 30, 20, 25, 30 plus years, so they've seen me grow up basically. So it's like family being out there. So I
and
love
your
it.
mom's the coolest motherfucker on earth too, right? Is she not?
Well, I mean,
she's cool as shit, man.
I got my mom's, who's also an entrepreneur. She's a writer.
Yes.
I get a lot of my not just the good looks, but I get a lot of the personality, and I was just raised by a lot of strong women in my family, so actually, even though I'm hanging with y'all, I feel hella comfortable with y'all. I actually feel more comfortable hanging out with ladies, to be honest.
That's all good.
I'm just saying. That's how I grew up.
Quick pivot because we have Brian on too. Like, tell us about your cannabis brand. What you got going on in the cannabis land?
Yeah, man. So speaking of that, I had to make that adjustment because other than that mail money that I'm graciously getting every once in a while from doing some scoring or doing some commercials here and there, it's been tough. So I'm trying to branch out into the cannabis world, and got this brand right now that we're calling Vaya, which means wow, or it means like, it's actually an ancient word. It means ritual, but also means wow as well. Nice. And we got a couple of verticals, but we're gonna go for some flower, like Vaya's floor. Okay. And then we're gonna go with Vaya. Well, right now we're going with an edible. We're trying to figure that out exactly. But we want to come out with a dual dragon, a dual head monster first, because a lot of people, they just, whether it's whomever to like a Post Malone, they think it's dope. I mean, it's cool. They just slap their name on something and it sells or it works. It's cool. But for me, I'm thinking more about like the authenticity, the brand, what's your message, what you're trying to send out, what you're trying to do. Sure. And for those, like, is it transparent enough to where they actually not just talking about it? They being about it. And for me, that's what I really took my time with. I could have done this a few years ago, but I just didn't see. Man, if I'm gonna do something, especially with the cannabis thing, especially with this brand, I want to do it fucking right.
Because timing is everything.
And timing is correct, man. It's supposed to be, talking to a musician, man. Timing, that's all I know.
Exactly.
El tiempo, man. So and I'm just grateful and blessed to be here, man, to be able to share it with y'all. And hopefully I can share it with y'all soon when it comes out very soon.
Appreciate it coming out.
Bring it up here anytime.
I will do. I'm hoping that it will drop this year. If it does not drop this year, you can damn well bet it's coming out in 2021. Well, we ain't going nowhere.
And the good thing is, while music is cut off, cannabis is on the rise.
That's true.
Dispensaries up like 30-40%.
Yes.
And
lots of want for fucking new shit.
And
what about the prices? The price of
prices are going back like crazy.
That's
when
the
they
thing.
were fucking
we're back in 2011.
10 years ago or
we're
something.
like in 2010, 2011
so
right
that's, I forget, I'm going to mess up the quote, but Nipsey said, late Nipsey, man, he said, just invest. Telling all the young cats, man, don't go to the strip club. If you want to be like Champagne Poppy and drop, however much, and then send the bottle to your arch rival at the time or whatever, go ahead and do that. But seriously, man, invest. And also black and brown, especially, man, especially in the cannabis community, especially out here in LA and in California, man. Come on, man. Like, come on. That's wasn't there a statistic that just recently came out saying that Latinos make up now the percentage of like universities or of California's like attendance or something like that in schools or something? So I'm just saying, like, let's do it correctly, man. Let's represent and let's do it correct, man. And,
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Appreciate you guys having me on here, man.
Yeah, thank
brother.
you.
Blessings, respect.
No, much love. We gotta get a a picture with the black hand and the brown hand doing some unity shit with these.
Without the gloves.
And the
non-glove.
And the lucky Afro-Chicano hands right here.
We gotta go non-glove on that one.
All right, so let's talk about our next guest.
Yes.
Tell us a little about yourself, Brian.
Blessings. How's everyone? Bryant Mitchell, coming from Texas. Been in California now
Yes, sir.
for a long time and enjoying it here and want to stay here. So, created a company called Black Star with a an idea and a want to.
And they got a Q in it too.
With a Q. Just the question, is it about us? Who is it about? And how do we get it right? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
here I am. I guess 10 years later and still in California and enjoying it and
You've
trying
you've been at it for a while.
for a while on record.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I say, on record.
The good thing about it is that Black Star is known in the community, and you're one of the guys where when something comes out, everybody is in a line just to wait to see what Black Star is coming out with next. That's pretty hard to do these days.
We're trying. It's not been easy trying to, kind of navigate these waters, these interesting times that throw, stuff from the business side, but also from the social equity side.
Right.
And
How is the social equity world going right now? What's going on there?
you know what? I don't think the social equity world will ever be going right until every person that is in jail is released.
Right.
And that to me is when social equity will really start going right.
Hey, shout out to that shit, man. Anti-recidivism for life, man. For real. Like, we need to get all of our soldiers that we lost in the war on drugs, get them out from behind bars and get them into the workforce here and turn this shit into the cash crop that it really is.
That's it. That's it. It's an opportunity for everybody. Reparations are due.
Right? It's the closest thing to reparations that we'll get. Like, I don't know though. Asheville, North Carolina,
kind of set the new standard. I'm interested to see how it plays out. So,
it might not be a bad time to be living in a liberal place.
Indeed.
Right. So, how'd you first get into? Like, you got a crazy story, Brian. Right? Like, tell a little bit tell a little bit about your background, because that's what drew me first to you, because we have similar backgrounds, because we were in business before we got into the game, and we both did a little bit before as well. And tell us your path.
No holds barred on here.
Yes.
Good old country boy from
Yes.
Orange, Texas. Small town on the border of Louisiana. Got into college, then went from college to getting into the consulting world. Started with Anderson Consulting, and the first project they put me on was out here in California, and so that was 2000. And I've been out here ever since. It kind of led me on that path to continue working, going back and forth, kind of worked in, a little of what I was doing, and at the same time getting exposed to the California way of doing things, the cannabis, it was just so interesting.
Hey. How much more did Pat go for down in
Come on.
You know me.
Prices fluctuate,
right?
but
because I'm from Virginia, I was like that close to going back and enduring all that racism just for the price, for the pricing, man. But what was it like back then? Y'all got the bricks? Y'all get the bricks of weed, the brick weed we all had?
We were smoking back then. You had, what was it called? Popcorn?
Okay.
You remember popcorn? You remember
shit
popcorn?
was trash, man.
Straight trash.
Hey, more
brown weed? Was it brown?
Yeah, sometimes.
Brown with the stems.
Yeah,
With the stems. You had to break it apart, right?
Yes.
So you come out of Cali, and you're like, wait a minute.
What is this?
What is this? It's not a brick.
No.
It's actually a flower.
Right.
So you're
because you got in, was it 2010, On the quasi-legal side?
Quasi-legal side, medical side.
Yeah, like
2010, 2011, you know.
So that was right around the time, because I'm going to do some history right now. That was right around the time that it was like the fall of El Chapo. Because when I was pushing packs in Chicago, the shit started to get a little bit better. And I just found out when they released all the information last year, all of that was El Chapo shit.
Come on.
If you were selling weed in the streets, like and it was not in California, then it was El Chapo shit. This week we had some bomb ass Bubba Kush. Next week it's just some straight Mexican dirt. Like, it was just trash, right? I was smoking it, I was selling it. That's all you got, right? When I was young, it was the seeds, the thick ass stems, and the shit would turn brown after like a week or two. And then since I moved here 8 years ago, I've never smoked bad. Like the bottom shelf shit here is better than the best shit. I'd say like 80% of the best shit in Chicago. I'd say 100% of the best shit back home in VA. So like, you never smoke bad here.
No, you can't. You can't.
What was the difference? What's the biggest difference for you coming up from Texas and then going back to Texas?
Well, I couldn't go back and smoke, right? So I couldn't.
So you had to bring your smoke with you.
You know, I had to make sure. I had to make sure it got there before I did, right? You know, it's like waiting on me. So, no, it really made me it's like wine.
Woman.
You know, it's like fine wine. You know, it's like you said earlier. You live in the Bay Area. It's like you
That's Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. You know, you can't go from drinking MD 2020 and then drinking Hennessy and then have to go back to MD 20.
Right.
You know?
I kind of did go back though.
Times get hard.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Hold it down.
Definitely.
Gotta reminisce.
Yes. So coming up through Texas and back to Cali, and what are you doing now? Well, what's the big projects that are on the docket now?
Trying to keep up. You know, trying to keep up. Flower demand, as you said, is high. You know, we got, as you expand, you have quality issues. You have all these things you have to address, and you know, you have these products you want to create, but then you want to kind of step back, make, like you said, do it right.
You gotta be safe too.
You gotta be safe. Right? You can't. You growing clean, and then you bringing in new growers. You know, they've got to get acclimated. They've got to learn what the way to do it. So, you know, it's kind of riding that, commercial readiness, but at the same time, you're dealing with the ever fluctuating rules and regulations
and prices
and prices and, and thefts, robberies and all these things, so it's interesting,
So just being on the business side of it, like, how do you even do a pro forma right now? How can you even predict what's going to happen? A month from now,
when all that north stuff comes down and
right,
start hitting the ground, and I think you just got to pick your lane. That's where your brain comes in.
Because of entrepreneur in here, you always have to be steady raising cash too, right?
That's right.
How does your story change from like 4 months ago? She was what, like $800, $900, like a pound, and like now, like, motherfuckers need this shit because they're at home.
That's right.
But
and we were deemed necessary.
Yes,
that's a big essential.
it is an essential business.
Right, essential, right? So that's a big pick.
I agree with that, but are they taking care of you on the back end of that too? Is the state taking care of you? Is the country taking care of you? Like,
no,
like at all.
Well, we didn't get the PPP loan. I did hear.
Oh, I know. I didn't get mine. Right? Yeah, I didn't get mine as an event producer in the industry. I didn't
because of cannabis relation. Now.
Yes.
Crazy, right?
So yeah, I'm just like straight up, like, I'm happy to be here. We're out here producing. Shout out to Superbad. Shout out to Superbad Inc. Excuse me. They're classy motherfuckers. Shout out to Hayes Radio Studio Network. Andrew, the motherfucking man. Like, I feel like blessed being out here, being able to produce, being out here to be with great people, great energy. Like how do you even prepare yourself for the next steps? As a businessman, as a large operator, how do you prepare yourself for next quarter, let alone next week?
This is the COVID's taught us, if nothing, to be fluid. You know what I mean? You've got to adjust. You have to build your team around you. You got to have that trust. Like you said, you got a good room here. You got good people you're surrounded by that makes this work. That's the way it's got to continue to work. We've got to be unified. And that's what I think. With the climate we're looking at now, and everything else, this is the time to be more unified and go about it and work together.
Right.
So Reek, didn't Brian bring me and you together?
Yes, he did. If it wasn't for Bryant Mitchell, I would not be here right now. No
If it
joke.
wasn't for Brian Mitchell, me and Reek would have never been collabing.
Yes,
time and time
yes.
again.
Wow. Yeah, we're like a syndicated Seinfeld.
Yeah,
like Friends. Like we just keep on going. We ain't never gonna stop
Brian,
being Los.
We owe you. Thank you, and we appreciate.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
thank you, man.
So I will say this: Brian was the first person around the whole country that I, being the owner of, Gigi Gorilla Glue, aka Gigi Strands, I gave him the blessing to grow in California. Black Star was the first person, and that shows a big part of what I think of him as what he does in that lab. He's an animal. He's a beast.
There's some high power energy in this room right now.
Definitely.
Like
I've only gave it to one other person in the whole state of California.
Yes.
So that's huge.
Thank you. Big compliment.
Yeah,
I appreciate
for the
support.
genetics.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite strands too, by the way. The double G Gorilla Glue. Oh my God.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Good times
GG4
with
and GG5.
Yeah.
And GG6.
I think
Hey,
and I do
GG7.
glue. And I do glue.
Oh, damn.
And new glue.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and I do glue. No, we got it. We got all that. DEW. My name is Dude, right? We got it all, baby. Yeah. But so yeah, we definitely appreciate you, man.
Right.
It's big, and we definitely got to go ahead and we started it, so now we got to finish it.
You got to finish it.
Right.
We're almost there. We're ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, fuck yeah.
Andrew, you got anything you want to add?
Oh, no.
Mad scientist?
Oh, what are we smoking on? What are we smoking on, Bryant? Brian.
You got it.
Brian, what are we smoking on?
That's the glue. That's which one did you grab that out of?
Is that the GG4?
I don't know. That's the
This is-
the boss.
The boss?
Yeah.
Okay.
The boss.
Of course you grabbed that one.
Yeah.
Black Star.
Which one? Yeah, they were in the bag. They were separated. So yeah.
So which one is
No,
this?
they're not samples. They're.
So which one is this, B? Tell us what this one is.
You know what? This is probably the. Let's see. That's the boss.
Alright. Hey.
And what's the genetics of the boss?
So the
Yeah.
boss is a Fire OG cross from Dark Heart
Okay.
Nursery that I got a while back. They tapped it out, happened to grow it and get it down to the phenol I wanted, and now we're here.
Do you remember the first strain
Cool.
you ever when you got high? You remember the first strain you ever smoked?
First strain I ever smoked? Yeah.
I remember.
Some sour diesel.
Ooh.
Said it was good one. Said it was sour diesel.
Damn. Man.
Salvador, what about you?
What was it?
It was Northern Lights.
Northern Lights is
Okay.
old
Yeah,
school.
it's
Old
Bay,
school.
yeah.
it's Bay Area, man.
So
Yeah.
was that like can I guess like 90s or no?
Oh yeah, it was 97.
Yeah,
my freshman year in high school.
yeah, sure.
Nice.
It was out of a stupid soda can
Because that was back when it was what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't
Yeah.
have the strains like here. There's certain ones everybody had, whatever. You know what I mean?
Nah,
And then-
my homie who was a sophomore, I was a freshman at the time. He just had a little tinfoil bag. You open it up. It was
yeah.
it was a little bit of seed, a little bit of stems,
Nice.
but mostly just like it was just a little fluff.
Yeah,
little
for
fluff,
sure,
little fluff.
for sure.
Shout out to the Bay.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to the Yay.
Yeah. They love that Granddaddy Perp too.
they do.
Well, that was
They
more up
do.
to 2000s.
Yeah,
When
I was
you
gonna
get-
say,
that
now
was
you're
like
getting a little-
I was
2003.
gonna say we didn't
You're
have
ahead of yourself with that.
You know what? We didn't even have strains.
I'm about to say, most of that was just weed.
No, it's like, yo, you got some.
Swear,
It's like, yo, you got some weed.
You know what's
I
funny?
got this
They
fire.
had the skunk back then, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
they did. You know
That
what's
was my favorite.
You know what's funny? It's like, it's funny. I've had the opportunity to smoke some sort of weed or something pretty much all over
Yeah,
the world. Like
yeah.
I even smoked in Germany. Like I've
hell
smoked in
yeah,
like
of
some of the
course.
most
That's dope.
random places, but still.
Were you
man,
ever shocked
Cali-
though? Did you ever go
Cali's-
somewhere else though and just been like, "Wow, I'm surprised that shit was that good"? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
Where?
Well, it was. I mean, I was shocked, but I wasn't actually. That's probably not the best answer.
Okay,
But it was
but-
Switzerland.
Okay.
Switzerland. Because I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
okay.
Wow.
because it was. I swear I thought I was back in California. Like
Really?
somebody found some White Widow
out
there.
Oh, nice.
and I was able to just.
That's some
I
old
had a
school
little.
right
I had
there.
a blunt right after the show, and I just remember being perfect. It's perfect.
So at the end of the day,
the
California,
California State,
hands down.
Man, it's consistently.
Yeah.
Consistently, because it's just like it's just all we do, man. Emerald Triangle, just everything. You know what?
The widow was the Afghani cross with something else, I think.
It was, and then I'm also getting mixed up with the rhino.
Oh,
the white rhino
I remember
was also on
the white rhino was a savage.
The
back
white
then.
rhino, I used to call it
That
the
was a
Tyson
great
punch
one.
because that thing, I would take
I
one
remember
puff
the white
and I would
rhino.
literally go, pong, son, done.
Skunk 5 was the crystaliest shit back in the day.
I'm trying to think.
But back when you had Northern Lights, your dad was smoking shit like Acapulco Gold and all that type of stuff.
Well, they were
which
talking
was like,
they were talking about lids and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is a lid, bro?
Yeah,
It's a fifth. I'm like, who the fuck? Who does fifths? No one measures that. I can barely do math when I'm straight. Like,
Hawaiian was real popular in the late '90s when you could get it.
Oh,
That was
Maui
another
Wowie.
one. Maui Wowie.
Of course.
yeah.
Maui Wowie.
I mean, I was trying to
Smoke
think.
some of that too, B.
Yeah.
man, one of my favorite. Lamb's bread.
Lamb's,
Okay.
Lamb's bread.
Lamb's bread.
That was a favorite of Peter
good one.
Tosh. And,
Peter Tosh.
Yeah. And,
Peter Tosh.
and Bob Marley.
We got the exclusive
one of
with
their
Peter
favorites.
Tosh. Don't never get it fucked up.
Ooh.
There was one that I had. It was something. This is weird. It's gonna sound like the one that got away. I had this one bag. I was at a show, and this homie had no. He just wanted to hook me up with something. He was like, "Man, I just love your music. I love what you do. I love your family. I was like, "Cool, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for the love." Literally on the way out, this guy he knocks on the van door. We're trying to leave the venue. He's like, "Hey, here, take this," and I'm stupid. I'm like 22, 23. I should not have opened the door. I just opened the door and dude like hits me in the face basically with a pillow full of weed, like a bag full of weed. And it was this.
Yeah.
It was this. We were up in Sebastopol, and there was this stuff called.
Yeah.
I found out later.
That's the real growers.
I found
right
out there was
there.
this stuff called. This was 20. What'd you guys say earlier? 2010, 2011. It was somewhere in there. It was called the Cheezel.
Oh, of course, the cheese with the diesel.
But I've never
And-
at that
yeah.
time. But it was
That's
like
good,
but it
Andrew.
was like a special.
It was good. The guy who created the cheese, and actually the guy who created the Buddha cheese, which was the first cheese. I know that guy. I love him.
Bro.
That motherfucker. Yeah,
That
he's a
stuff-
we've had him on the station
That
years
stuff,
ago.
it's
But
almost,
yeah, the
it's like
Cheezel.
thank you, but then like why? Like why would you create something so sadistic? Like it is so like you take one hit of that stuff. Oh my God, it was amazing. Me and my homies at the time, we thought it would be hilarious to roll the biggest blunt out of that. Just be stupid. So we rolled a half-o blunt of that stuff. And we smoked it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you what we did after that.
What blows my mind though, what blows my mind is with all now the buds that come out that they say is all gassy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a popular thing. How come you don't see all fucking NYC diesel or any kind of like the original gassy fucking kings? You know what I mean? Because
Right.
It's a good
a
point.
true New York sour diesel would blow away any one of these gassy ones, right?
Good point.
The original? Oh my God.
What's one of your favorite strains?
Yeah. Punchy.
One of my favorites was a Shiska berry, which was
You have to enlighten us.
it was the Afghani cross with the double cross of blueberry.
Oh damn.
It was the most fruitiest, crystaliest fucking.
Nice.
It looked gigantic, but they would shrink. You know what I mean when you dried them,
Yeah,
but they were
right.
just like so bomb.
Was it
was
like
crazy.
dense?
was it like multi? Yeah, dense and multicolored. Color. Yeah, like a purple, blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had that once in college.
Yeah, like berry, like the flavor is just like unreal, like the taste.
Whoever's
you know?
listening to this is like, damn, Sal, you went to Cal Arts and got shacked. What's wrong with you?
Hell yeah.
I remember all those
Hell
strains,
yeah.
man. I get a little disappointed now because all the things that get recrossed and this and that. Because I know all the original. Shout out to Third Gen and Crockett and all those guys when they're up in the fucking Northern Cali in the fields with fucking guns trying to
for
protect
real.
their shit, working
Right.
for
For real.
somebody before they were
good.
Next level.
what they are rock star millionaires now.
Right.
Right.
With all the strains.
But it's like food pairing, you know, like we all appreciate food, like good food up in here, you know. Like
We love food.
you see what I'm saying? Like yeah. So it's got to be the right thing with the strains and everything, and I feel like to his point, like a lot of the stuff in the market that's out now, it's more like, oh, cause science, like this strain, these numbers say this and blah blah blah, this stuff, and I'm just like, man, if that's right, if it tastes right, if the effects are correct, plus people want to see what's on the label, because especially some of the newbies, and especially if they're anyone like my lovely wife, who when she goes to the store, she got to read every single thing on the label and make sure, especially now with the kid, make sure it's cool.
Yeah.
You want to know what you're getting yourself into, you know. So again, that transparency and that authenticity, you know, I think that's what separates, you know, especially I can tell with this brand right here, like the Boss stuff, I can smell the Boss. Boss is like boss mode.
Yes.
Like, Boss got me in boss mode right now. So, that's what's up, man. You know, authenticity, that's what's up.
And definitely the last thing is, do you guys want to give a shout out or anything?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Brian, go.
Please.
Yeah, no, I thank everybody for buying the brand, supporting us, and, you know, continue to push us on so we can, you know, grow better, be better, you know. And for the
Instagram.
people.
Give us the IG, my man. What is it? What is it?
At Black Star Farms.
Is there
BLAQSTAR.
what about website? Any kind of websites or anything?
Same website,
Same
Black
thing?
Star Farms.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah,
Salvador, my man. What's the IG?
Let's see. Oh, my IG is at Salvador Santana Music.
Okay,
Follow me
nice.
there. And then shout out, let's see. Shout out to homies, always welcome to mi casa. Shout out to me homies, worldwide, viva la raza. Esta es mi sangre, black and brown, hella proud. If you feeling how I feel, then go ahead and shout it out. Let's go.
Bars. Let's go.
Yeah. That concludes our show. We love it.
Boom.
Thanks.
You're listening to Hayes Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio.